broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Tuesday afternoon, and you know what that means? It's hashtag Castle time here on AFTERBUZZ TV.
Hey people!
And I am not alone, but obviously you know me as Alexis McLeod-Torres, your host here, doing it for Castle. I'm so excited to talk about it because obviously we're going to have a giant withdrawal after this episode, and I'm not ready. But again, I can't do this alone. I've got two lovely blondes, well, a dirty blonde and a kind of blonde.
I'm pretty dirty. I'm pretty dirty.
Hey, save the dirty talk for later. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
And there will be some dirty talk at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
cow.
what I'm saying.
I'm
Naked
JJ
punishment.
Snyder. You guys, great to see you. Oh my gosh. Winter finale time, and this is...
I am Lacretia Lyon, and you might know me from the GH report on Sundays here at AFTERBUZZ.
You should definitely check out our whole, what is it? I guess it's not really drama section. It's, it is pretty drama. But Days of Our Lives kind of block.
Sunday soap
there you
block.
go.
Yeah, hashtag Sunday soap block.
You should definitely check it out. There's just a lot going on. I don't even know how you guys can recap all that in like a 2 to 3 hour. Anyway, but we're talking about season 8, episode 8, Mr. and Mrs. Castle, where we finally got our beautiful kiss, and it was beautiful. But I'm so excited that I'm back. I was in New York for a week, and I am very jet-lagged, and I apologize if I seem sleepy.
You were just falling asleep on the microphone before the show
But you guys
started.
didn't see that, so we're going to pretend like it never happened. I'm just kidding. But I love how we opened up on this episode of our this adorable dog barking at the water.
Gosh.
And, of course, he was just his owner was so angry at the fact that he was barking at late at night. I think it was like 4 or 5 a.m. at night. I couldn't
He's a bulldog, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cute.
And we found a floater in the water. Yikes.
I love the reveal how the floater like slowly emerged. It was like a long shot of the water. Nothing. Wait for it.
Body. Twist.
Every time I see a floater, I always think of Starsky and Hutch and the Owen Wilson Ben Stiller, almost said Ben Affleck, where he's like, floater, these are hard to solve. You gotta push that out to the next precinct. It's like, couldn't you see Esposito and Ryan doing that?
I can totally see them do, especially after last episode where they finally rekindled, their whole friendship.
bromance.
Yeah, their bromance, since it's instead of an eye for an eye, it's like a shot for a shot, guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah, they're getting along better.
I'm glad. Because I didn't want to do the rest of the season of them being upset with each other. But we had Mama Shades and Alexis coming in to either do tears or cheers
I love that.
for Castle and their date, which we know the truth of what happened. But he was
It
just
was
like,
kind of a mixed bag.
everything was fine.
Yeah.
Champagne for everyone. So we're like, no. But Haley came into the office, and I can't remember if you guys can recall what Mama Shades or Martha was telling Haley of why they're working together. Did anybody catch that? I missed that.
Martha said it's great that Haley is a consultant for you now.
Okay, that's what it
wasn't
was.
that the reference?
Yeah.
Castle, it's great. Haley's coming on as a consultant. And then Haley, she left the room, and Haley's kind of like, that's not really what's happening here.
But that's fine. I would be okay. I wouldn't want to get Martha involved anyway, so I was just like, But Martha will always find her way, which she technically did in this episode. But they did talk about the fact of wanting Haley to hack into Kate's phone, find out what's going on. In the back of my brain was telling me, I don't think that shit is a good idea, but I know you need to know. It's so weird. But I'm glad that that whole scene was great, and we'll get to that.
There was clearly like a cyber element to this episode, yes.
And I loved it. I thought it was great. But we found out that they have a new spot, that they have a new hideout.
Yeah.
And it was a strip club. If you don't know what that is, go look it up, children.
I love I love how strip clubs are so often find their way into crime shows. It's just
so
like this seedy sort of, location. It's awesome.
But I love how there was still $1 left or some change left.
She handed him some ones. It's like, what kind of stripper was going to leave that? I mean,
unless it was one of those, like, it was like a crazy bust and everyone's just kind of running out. And I guess there was just money sitting there. And I was like, well, isn't, like, somebody clean it up, forensics? No, I'm just going to leave the money there. Fine.
Investigative headquarters by day, strip club by night.
Yeah, that's a different kind of Batman, I feel. But, so...
We just invented a new superhero.
Yeah, right? Strip man?
It's kind of like barbed wire.
Sure. So she gets, obviously, the call about our Jane Doe, who's actually Laura Madden. Mm-hmm. She was wearing a flapper outfit, so I love how Ryan was like, what is it, like Al Capone sitting there and like doing that kind of stuff? She's wearing a dress that's straight out of the 20s. And I thought that was very interesting.
But it had a tag on it.
It did, and it was a costume. And we found out that she was a dancer on a cruise line called the RMS Bentley for the musical called Speakeasy.
On a cruise line called Iconic Cruise Line.
Which was a Titanic...
all sort of in period.
Yeah, I know. And I like that.
Cute.
I love how the lady who was showing Kate around on the deck was like, "Oh yeah, we're here for our theme and for our safety protocols." And I was like, "Oh, but you had someone who died on the cruise."
I wrote down Kate's line in that moment. Please. It was so hilarious because she's like, so referring to the girl who was killed. Yeah. Well, she was shot in the head, so unless she tripped and fell on a bullet.
I was like, yeah. No. But we found out that she was, before we get to that, we found out that she was in the water for 10 to 12 hours and she had a tiny bag of 30K uncut heroin. I was freaking out. Because I was like, what are they pulling?
When they pulled that out. Yeah. Of the corpse of her mouth. It was gross.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
For iTunes listeners, welcome. And I'm glad that you're here.
Hi guys. Thanks for listening.
And I was trying to cover my eyes, but also trying to open them. That's pretty much the whole time as I was watching. I was just like, it's not there yet. No.
I was hoping that it was actually going to be some sort of weird message in a bottle.
That's what I wanted.
In a body, yeah.
That's what I wanted. When he said, when the coroner, who we didn't have Lainey this episode, which is fine. Because sometimes they'll switch her out with. I always forget his name. So if anyone in the chat can do that, that'd be great. We'll figure it out. Yeah. It's okay.
I don't know
the other coroner, who's the grumpy. I call him Grumpy Gills. That's what I call him because he's always just in a bad mood. And I love how they're making fun of his scruff. I liked it personally.
He looks sexy.
Yeah. And he when he was sitting there going, "Oh, there's something back there. Oh, it's behind her molars." I was like, okay, so he's gonna pull out her molar, and then it wasn't that, and then it was a longer string. I was like, this is the opposite of a magic trick that I would like to see right now.
Yeah,
with the handkerchiefs. No, I don't.
Kind of as if she swallowed it.
Yeah, I was just like,
grody.
What? No. So we found out that this uncut heroin is 30K. Like, that's how much it is. And I was like, whoa, all right. And we found out that the drugs are actually that have the same match as the Vulcan drugs that both Kate and Vikram are looking for. Now, before we get more into this episode, I have to, I'm going to put this out here now. Because I need to know what you guys think. Also, you guys in the chat or people who are watching later in the comments section or in iTunes, I need to know. Vikram this episode was giving me a vibe that he knows a little more than he's giving off. What do you think?
I agree. Like, he was very suspicious to me. He comes off as a sociopath because he doesn't seem to give a crap about Kate's marriage. I mean, she doesn't either. But, I mean, it's just so weird how he's just like, yeah, that's why he just seems shifty.
So, you guys, I think you're definitely picking up on something. I mean, there's... So, I immediately just assumed that maybe he has feelings for Kate. But now, after talking to you, I think that's sort of like the obvious plot point, but it could be something a little more interesting. You had a really cool theory.
Well, I was thinking that Vikram was trying to dissuade, I guess. I don't know if that's the correct term, but pretty much
kind of throw her off for the trail, like on purpose.
Enough to give her so that she can still go to the chase, but not enough that it actually leads them to the whole the Vulcan thing.
So would you dare say you think like
I think
he's being hired to do this?
Yes, I think Vikram is involved in some way.
I agree. Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt that he's like somewhere high up, or maybe he got hired or promised some money. I don't know. I just think I mean I love the actor because we had him on here, and I want him to come back because I think he's amazing and he is a really good actor. I also like that he technically got to loosen up a little bit in this episode because we were talking about he's more of a comedic actor, but he can also play serious roles. So that's what I want to see. Because I feel like he's like, oh, we're going to pull out all these puns and jokes. I'm witty and adorable.
Yeah,
and then he's like, haha, I'm evil. Twist.
Yeah,
so,
I know. He's so much more serious on the show than he is in real life.
Yeah, no, I love him. He's a giant bear that I want to cuddle with all the time.
So I
think
your theory is really interesting. I don't know. Right now, I just feel like, especially with the tie-in to the heroine, I feel like maybe he is working on the good side. But, time will tell.
Yes, that's why I wanted to ask. I wanted to pick your guys' brain about that.
I know. I wonder what other people have to say about this.
Right now, a lot of people are saying, I do agree with Steven. He said Vikram is Vulcan, but I think we saw a picture. If not, I might be wrong. Vikram is a douche from Boo.
Vikram is evil. He's the mastermind of everything.
Yeah. I think everyone's on the same page. I'm not saying that this is an actual thing. This is just the vibe that's getting off. When we start getting into a couple of his scenes, I'm going to start pointing out some stuff that was giving me clues about it.
Okay, because I bet I know what you're talking about. Okay.
So I love how obviously Vikram's like, well, at least Castle's not there. And she's like, I know, right? Yeah. It would have been so weird. I'm king of the world.
That was adorable.
Castle. But it was nice. I thought it was adorable.
I loved being on the ship. It was just cool.
Yeah.
I like the idea that and they gave him like a time restraint, right?
They did.
Yes.
Because the fact that they were about to hit international waters, they can technically, it doesn't work with U.S. laws. They have an hour before the Coast Guard comes to pick them up.
Yep.
And that's it. That's all they get because their crime scene's literally about to go.
To investigate.
Well, yeah, because the RMS Bentley is trying to cover up the murder because they're already bankrupt. They don't want any bad press. So they're like, okay, let's go. So I get it. But an hour is not.
They've been told not to cooperate.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because they're trying to cover up their tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I love how Castle goes to talk to the dancers.
Oh, yeah.
One of the dancers. And Kate plays shuffleboard with the ladies that are actual residents.
Yeah.
Is this something that happens or is that just in TV land?
I've never heard of living on a cruise ship other than the crew. Yeah, the crew lives on it, and that's why I was shocked that they didn't do more in depth, because I've had a lot of friends that were like musicians and dancers on cruise ships.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I was surprised that they didn't delve into that life, because I hear it's pretty entertaining. It's almost like a dorm room. And
yeah, that's what I've heard. I have my best friend's father works on Royal Cruise Line, and so he always has stories and things and stuff. I also wanted to apply to be one of the dancers, singers.
Did you on a cruise ship?
I think it was the Disney Cruise Line. I wanted to be.
That would be a good one.
Jasmine or Pocahontas or something.
The performers are no joke.
Oh no, they take their job very seriously. Yeah. And also I heard it's a lot of fun, but also it can get pretty, not lonely, but like you're on a ship the whole time.
You're kind of,
I hear everybody makes it not so lonely is what I've heard.
Lots
of bed hopping. It's like Grey's Anatomy at sea.
I was thinking like something like the Olympics, how they're like, okay, we're on this one thing, we gotta do it now. So there's a lot of sexy punishment.
But did anybody notice who the dance teacher was? Any of us Buffy fans will recognize her.
I was going to say she looked familiar, but I couldn't put my nose on it. Please.
You're a good spotter.
Who is it?
It was Dagny Kerr, who's Buffy's soul-sucking roommate in college, Kathy.
Oh my God, Kathy!
And that's why I was like, oh my God, it's Kathy.
I would have never recognized her.
I so thought she was going to be the killer, because it's always crazy-eyed women.
Well, no, I also thought it was the lady in the beginning who was showing Kate around on the deck. I was like, she could be it, but I'm like, nah. I think
she has that awesome wave hairstyle.
What do you
call that wave?
I have no idea.
The 20s wave.
I don't know. It looked amazing, but also she had mad crazy eyes when she found out that she got shot in the head. I was like, all right. Anyway, so obviously,
dance.
I was like,
back
Castle.
To the show.
So Kate finds out from our ladies on the deck that Elaine, out of all the ladies there, is toking again. Again, kids, Google. Pretty much means that she was dabbling in weed.
hitting
smoking,
the marijuana.
hitting that marijuana.
She could get a prescription if she lived here instead of on the cruise ship.
I know. I completely agree.
I wonder what the policy is on weed on international waters. Does anyone know?
I wouldn't know.
We would like to know.
I think
I can't
it
say.
really depends. But I also love that Castle.
I wasn't there.
Castle decided to go check out the dancers, and he was the patron who paid to see the show early or whatever.
Interesting.
But I didn't know that he was going to be involved with with that.
With the number. She said, well, first of all, I think it's interesting that Castle has some money to throw around. Like, he's a successful author. This is my take on it. And, whatever it takes to help him and get closer to Kate, if he has to throw a little money at the investigation, he's not afraid to do it.
No, and that's why I love Castle, because of the fact that he's a witty, charming son of a bee. But at the same time, I love how he has that power to just kind of throw money at something and he can get whatever he wants.
It's so hot.
And also helps the fact that he knows everybody because of his success. So he usually can get some sort of connection. This time it was more just like, throw hundreds at the lady. Throw money.
He gave them an alias. He didn't give them his name, right?
Yeah, he used the name that was on the, receipt or the invoice of who bought the show early or to watch or whatever, as creepy as that sounds. But apparently...
so he didn't really pay for it.
No, he paid that $200.
Well, then I take that back.
Well, no, he technically threw $200 at the instructor.
Okay.
Or I guess stage manager, choreographer, whatever.
Kathy.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Our engineer has info on marijuana.
Oh,
Please.
We have a really important
Hey guys,
marijuana
I
update.
some quick research. It appears that marijuana is legal in international waters,
Whoa.
but you do have to get it somewhere. Presumably, it doesn't grow in the middle of the ocean.
Is that Zach?
Yeah.
This is Zach.
Zach! Sorry, I love Zach. He's amazing. Hi, I missed your face.
Thank you for being motivated to get us that answer, Zach.
I was curious.
No, so was I.
That
I'm
is
so glad
interesting.
that you did that. Gosh, now I forgot my place.
So as long as you
Kathy.
get it legally, presumably in Colorado, and then
And
Or Jamaica,
if you
or
have a
whatever.
license for it, you can board. But can you board with it in California? Right. Okay.
Yeah, because I have a
Interesting.
prescription. Could I potentially board a cruise ship with it? I don't know.
an airport is considered a federal place, so it would be transported across state lines.
Yes. So be
Again,
careful.
not to throw like smuggling ideas to any of you people out there, but I mean, most people usually just do edibles. That's usually how that works. I can't.
Yeah, you can get those through airport security.
Yeah, I'm
you would
allergic
go
to
for the
marijuana.
brownies
Well,
if you were going on a cruise.
I can't specifically because I'm allergic to it. So if I take it, my tongue starts to swell up, and I just sound like this, and it's not very attractive. So that's how I am about it. But I know most people, I'm not going to name names, who do travel or send their family who have bad knees or whatever. Cookies, candies, things like that, because it's technically not detectable.
Yes.
Again, not
It is
giving
not.
ideas to anybody out there. Again,
I'm just so.
thank you.
Wow.
The more you know.
The words and opinions here of AfterBuzz TV.
It's good to be informed, and Castle helps us get informed. We discuss really interesting topics each week because of Castle.
I just love the fact that it was old ladies who were just like, I'm toking again. And I'm like, she knows what toking is.
You gotta love the old ladies. Okay, so back, we're almost to a dance number. So can we talk about it,
So
please?
obviously they're like, all right, did you watch the tape? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
of
you ready to
course.
go? Sure. And we found out that
1, 2, 3, 4.
that one of the dancers obviously was Laura's roommate or bunkmate. So we had a very interesting dance number with Castle and the Speakeasy ladies. And he wasn't doing so hot. What did you guys think of the scene?
I thought he was great. I just like, you know what, any excuse to have Castle move is just like a winning moment. I loved it.
Right.
Silly.
Yes, and I thought it was great. I loved his jazz hands. I love how she was
yeah.
like, "Yeah, great,
The
Castle."
jazz
Or not Castle,
hands.
but like, "Great, Dave. You're doing a great job." And he's like, and I love how like at the very end of that, he's like grasping aside, and he's like, he gave her another 100. That was the second 100 that he gave her, and he was asking for a timeout, and she's like, "All right, take 5, guys." He's like, "Take 5. Okay, I'm gonna go pass out now." But we found out from the roommate or the bunkmate that they actually hide all of their things. Because they apparently there's a lot of break-ins in this cruise, so they put their more personal stuff in in spots all over the cruise.
Yeah, so she's saying if you want to find something like her diary, take a look somewhere other than in her bunk. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. Sorry, guys. My phone's acting
We're
up.
having a little interference, guys.
It's my
so
phone.
We're all
It's just,
turning
it just
off
wants to
our
know
phones.
that my phone just wants to know that she's here and ready to mingle. So Kate also finds Isaac Dern, who apparently has been selling weed to the ladies or just people on this cruise ship.
Did you get the
dealer.
Isaac? Oh, right away when they said the bartender was Isaac, I thought of Love Boat. Anyone else?
Yes, I did. I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to bring that up because I mean I know I wasn't born in that time, but I loved Love Boat.
Well,
I loved it so much.
Nick at Night.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You don't need to be afraid of love.
TV Land had Love Boat as well.
Love Boat.
Love that. Love that show. So
the episodes are available on YouTube. I've recently gone back
serious?
and watched several of them, and man, is that time traveling.
I love
that'll blow your mind.
I want to watch it. I was just watching Three's Company, and I was like,
wow.
Anyway, so lost my place here.
So at the end of the dance number, Castle is tired out. We talked to the roommate. She says if you want to find something.
And then, yes, Kate got to talk to Isaac. Isaac said that he saw her on deck 23. She was after the show, but he didn't know anything about it. She just ran out after the show. So both Castle and Kate go to deck 23. They didn't find anything at first, but they did find the blood on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
So that's obviously where the crime scene started.
That was gross.
She's like, okay, obviously if she got shot in the head and dumped her body, there's got to be blood here somewhere, and obviously someone cleaned it. So she used a black light and found residue there.
Would that work in the daytime? That was cool.
Yes,
she did
yes.
it.
Black light can still work in the daylight if it's a specific spot.
Yeah.
It still works. Yeah.
They had the spot all right. Right.
Yeah.
in the
It's just that
middle
if you want to see it better, you would definitely need some sort of darkness. But I think you can see it pretty well. It was kind of shaded. Whatever. I'm gonna let TV Land pass on this one.
No, I was fine with it. Yes. It was cool how they did the graphic, the editors, because it lit up like
it was very nice. I was just like, because they would have been able to see it, not as much, but they have to obviously make it brighter for us to see. And we found out that she was actually hiding a video camera in the life jacket.
That was a lucky find.
That was a lucky find, because at first I thought it was the lifeboat, because they were talking about the Titanic and they wanted to have naked time in the Titanic, and I was like, oh, that's adorable and also kind of creepy, because I'm like, oh, there's so many people that died on the Titanic and you're just thinking about sexy time. It's weird. And
they're also solving a murder right now.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, but yes. I thought it was very interesting that there was a lot of sex talk this episode, but they found a video camera hidden, and it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting it to be her doing drugs with somebody. That's what I was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
Not her discovering drugs as she's trying to make a documentary about them dumping trash into the ocean.
Yeah, I thought that was really an odd twist.
But I liked it, though.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it. I was like, all right, good on you, Castle Riders.
Yeah.
I like it.
I liked it because I thought really highly of her. I was like, oh, she cares that they're dumping trash in the ocean, and our oceans are dirty. But I went all like environmental in that moment.
No, and that's great. I felt bad that she had to die because of the fact that she found.
Too bad she had to die.
Yeah, that she was just trying to do a good thing, but that's usually how it happens in crime.
But so she presumably stumbled upon that guy unloading the blue barrel of heroin.
Yeah, there was a whole crate full of it. I was
Lots
like,
of heroin.
And luckily enough, Acosta, which is the guy who was putting that into the box, didn't see her. She turned the camera around to herself and said, I'm going to see if I can snag some evidence for the cops. And then that's the last thing we saw of her until we found her body. Whew, that was chilling. I love how Kate thought that was a brilliant idea of her to sit there and try her best to get it back before they got to port, and obviously she never made it. And so they're like, Acosta has to do it. That has to be him. He's the killer. But as this is happening, Mama Shades finds out what Haley and Castle are up to, which was hacking into Kate's phone. Martha tells, using her great wisdom as always, and was like, this is the point of no return. You shouldn't do this. You should be honest with her and just trust her and let her do her thing. But we all know how Castle works, and he's like, no, I need to know.
Yep.
Did you guys think this was the right decision?
Was this
honestly, like, I really hate that Castle is always chasing Kate, always chasing Kate, always chasing Kate. So, yes, I did like that he worked with Haley to hack her phone because she's untrustworthy in this situation. But it was still a matter of, I was surprised at the ending because both of them did things today that I was like, wow, how is your marriage going to survive it?
Because the fact that technically their relationship has always been about that. Yeah. I see it as a Supernatural fan. The two boys that are part of Supernatural, if you guys have never seen it, they lie to each other all the time. But they will always defend each other and protect each other till the end. So I see it as same thing. Obviously you should build your life around trust, but sometimes you're lying for the right reasons in your own head.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, and there is an element, not only that, but the level to which Castle is like snooping on her is kind of a violation in itself.
Oh yeah,
he's going to get blowback now, even though his intentions are good. So
yeah, and I think that because the fact that he was trying to find out something that could potentially be dangerous for Kate, he's not thinking of himself. He's only thinking about Kate. I think that's why Kate can't be completely mad at him, and that's why Castle is more mad at her because the fact that she knew that this was dangerous and would rather just not tell him at all.
She'd rather go on her own, and he's like, "No, we're a we."
Yeah, and that's what I like about the fact that they're not just dating or they're not just partners. They're actual husband and wife now. It's not you and I, you or just me. It's actually a whole we. And I think
it's both. It's both because they are. Kate is saying, but within that we, like, I'm an independent.
No, and I completely get that because you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose your identity because of the fact that you're married. Yeah. Also, I get that, but at the same time, they know that you're married, so it doesn't matter if you do it by yourself or not. Even if you want to do this divorce,
the people. You mean the people who are a threat? Well, that's my whole problem with this storyline.
Yeah,
anyway.
this storyline sucks, guys. Like, honestly, because it's just unbelievable. After all they've been through, she wouldn't tell him, and then now it's like, and
it's like you're still with him. You're with him like 6 times a day.
Yeah,
so it's not like
it doesn't
any
matter.
safer.
That's why I agree with Castle. I know we're jumping ahead, you guys. I'm sorry, but that's why I agree with Castle at the fact that he's like, we still could have done this whole breaking up and divorce, but at least let me in on it.
Yeah, and I would have pretended like I didn't know.
Yes, and that would have been fine. And he's done that before, so I understand that, and I feel like Kate now is getting that whole point, but we're jumping way ahead.
Okay, we're way ahead. But so now that we know about the heroin, then we start talking about the garbage, right? The garbage on the ship, and Beckett brings up the idea, hey, it's not like anyone goes through checks garbage
also
on
a brilliant
ship
idea.
For security. And I did think, I was like, oh yeah, imagine all the stuff that could go down in the garbage.
No, like a lot of people hide stuff.
Smuggling. Or be like, I'll put the heroin in a pink suitcase in the garbage.
Yeah. Anything. You can literally put it in anything and no one would look at any, at all.
And I liked the little faux sanitation company they came up with because it was so island
friendly island sanitation. I was like,
and someone at Castle had to build that little website page.
Oh yeah,
that was so funny.
I was like, whoever's in graphic design had to do that. Poor thing.
It's probably a whole day of work.
And then, we found out that Acosta didn't work alone. He was contacting someone with a burner phone who was living in the city. And then we get the greatest scene that I love out of this whole episode was the hacker scene between Haley and Castle and Vikram and Kate. That was not clue number 1, but it was one of the clues. The one thing I wanted to bring up about Vikram was that he was finding clues so quickly. Like, we didn't have any clues about Vulcan and any of his drugs or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, it just came out of nowhere. It happened to be on the same cruise or the same case that we were on 1. 2, he kind of freaked out when he found out that they were being hacked. Obviously, it's normal because you're like, oh my gosh, someone's going to find out. But in my brain, if he knew... If he's part of that whole group, he wouldn't really care. But because it's not someone, he obviously knows it's not Locksat. He's like, oh, someone's actually hacking into him. Whoa, okay, someone's trying to find out stuff. I need to do this quickly.
It was interesting because they did play the whole scene really high intensity.
They did, but I love it because it was also extremely comedic relief.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because their conversation of just like, hey, I'm ready to do some naked time. How about you? Oh, I can't. I'm working.
Hey, I have my
pants off.
I'm downstairs.
And he's like, oh God, I don't know what to do. Oh, you know what? And then Haley's like, oh no, she's in Queens. Oh, I just want to take off my pants. Come on up. Crap, he knows I'm lying.
How about a rain check? Yeah. And then this all builds to my favorite part, the cat. That's like screaming at
the kitty videos.
So
Lord of mercy. I was like, see, if you did that back in the day, no one would know. Like, if we did that in like season 3, people would be like, what?
Yeah.
Why? And then now it's just like kitty videos. YouTube,
videos everywhere.
Everything.
They're like, what?
Yes, I thought it was very adorable, and obviously it got to the point where Vikram ends up nuking the whole system.
Oh, a system-wide nuke.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that Kate let him do it. Yeah.
Well, because he knew that Kate Castle had a backup.
Yeah,
so
I know.
It was okay, but
it was still like, even if he has a backup, Kate, that was kind of like.
She said that she would keep him out with any means necessary, and if she knew that wasn't completely going to put him out in the dust, that's why she did it.
Did you guys notice when they flip between their locations in that scene, they would sometimes show this graphic of like these turning dice with all these numbers on it. It was like, now you're in cyber world.
Oh yeah, it was very interesting. I was like, what's happening? I liked that. I was like, The Matrix. But yeah, I literally was just like, if you could read my notes, it says, well, now he's fried Castle's whole system. Hot damn. Because it was just, wow. And then we found out that Sam McInerney is the driver of the trash, from the trash company, and that he was delivering it to a warehouse. They went to the warehouse, no drugs there. And we also found out that there was a traveling salesman by the name of Leo Longarzo who was helping out as well.
Oh yeah, they got that Sam right up against the wall.
Yes, I did like their plan. This is my next clue, was that Vikram was just spouting stuff. Because remember, when we first met him, he was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And now he's this confident, chest out, gun out completely. Like, he's totally fine. I mean, I get it. He's an agent. Remember, I brought that up the last time he was here. I was like, oh, he's an agent.
But he hadn't really had a gun yet. Yeah. That was kind of he was more of an IT guy or a desk guy.
Exactly. But I mean, I know that he did say he was a federal agent, so they do have to learn how to use weapons and things like that. So I get that. But that's still, in my brain, I'm like, you seem like your confidence level is way higher than what it was.
Yeah, and there's no explanation for it. And that's the thing, is had there been like a situation where you had to, get stronger, I might have understood it. But yeah, it's just all of a sudden this progression for no reason.
That's why I'm saying this. I feel like his character is developing, but within episode to episode.
You guys are suspicious. Do you not think he's working on other cases at the precinct, though?
No, he is. Yeah, he did get, remember, he did get hired for the precinct because What's-Her-Face wasn't there anymore. So he's taking over that whole kind of cyber department, which is fine. If he's working in the cyber department, he doesn't really have to go out anywhere, technically.
Except with Beckett when he goes on this Locksat stuff.
And he was just and remember when he said, I think he's telling the truth. Why would he know that?
Yeah.
Well, but I felt like I believed him in that moment too.
I did too.
He has really strong instincts.
But I had to stop and go, what makes you say that?
Yeah,
what actually makes you say that?
You guys are on his tip.
Tracy D in the chat has posted this a couple times, talking about to watch Belly of the Beast, that episode. Yeah. And it gives more clues that Vikram might be involved. And she's like, they've been planning this all along. And I didn't even think about it until this episode. I was like, he seems suspicious. But yeah, she said it's been like that since that episode. And I'm like, we'll have to rewatch.
I completely agree, and I probably will rewatch it, but I think I remember talking about it in that episode. Wait, was I there for that episode? I'm going to assume yes. Right now I'm jet lagged, so I apologize. I'm like, was I there?
I know, I'm trying to think back to
how many episodes that was.
And back to this guy they threw up against the wall, Sam.
Yes, Sam McInerney.
Who's pretty flipping scared, by the way.
Well, yeah, he's dealing drugs. He could die at any moment, and he has a family. Come on.
Yeah.
I did love how they kind of got the information out of him by not really telling them there were cops, though. They kind of threw him against the wall, like, hey, we might be caught up in this drug deal, and he kind of spilled some beans. That was cool.
No, yeah, he's like, no, they're like, oh, we've been watching you. You did it wrong. And he was like, no, I dropped it off at 3rd and whatever, and I left it at the warehouse. I didn't even get out of the truck. So
it must be awesome when you're a cop and you get details like that out of somebody.
No, it's just a really good day.
Okay, I'm having to smack a skull.
Yeah, no.
Right. On to Leo Longarzo, who had a really tough headshot, by the way, for his photo up in the bulletin board.
That was terrible. I was like, whoa.
That dude is like
someone put some powder on that face. So obviously, Castle shows up after that whole debacle.
Wait a minute. Can I ask you something?
Yes.
If you were hired to play a bad guy on Castle and you had to pose for your photo of this is your bad mugshot, what would you do with your face?
Oh no, you're gonna put me on the spot.
Well, I'll do it.
I'll
go
say it,
first.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, those are some nasty faces.
Dude,
What you
I
got?
want like Nick Nolte's mugshot style, like hair everywhere. I'm like, oh.
I would probably just look sad in mine.
Yeah.
I'd just be like,
Let's see.
and like be really, really sad, and then when they find me, I'm like the most evil son of a bee ever.
Ooh, you're throwing a little curveball
Yeah, just be like,
in there.
I'm so sorry, I would never do that. Shoot, like just out of nowhere, and everyone's like, oh my god.
Kind of like Leo up on the fence pretty soon.
That was
brutal.
crazy. Okay,
Wasn't
so,
it? The way his body fell. And it was,
he was a really good. I like that. I noticed that he had to be a stunt guy, not an actual actor, because he had no lines. He walked out, made a face, ran for it, like hauled major ass out, and he jumped up on that dumpster onto the fence. He grabbed on, stopped, and I was like, "What's he doing? Oh God, he's gonna shoot!" And then you're like, "Gun!" And as soon as Kate yells no, he's already down on the ground, like practically dead. And I was like, "Whoa!"
Did you guys feel like I felt a little bit like Kate's reaction to that? Like she was really disturbed in the moment, and I was glad they didn't make too much out of that because I was like, she's a captain. Like how many times has she seen this? She was really upset at first, but I'm glad they just kind of left it at that and didn't draw it out too long.
Well, no, because
come on.
I can understand her wanting to keep this guy alive so that they can question him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, their first rule is if you obviously in the news
right now.
in the news nowadays it's not very helpful. But
well, I mean that is part of
it's part of protocol that if there's a gun drawn, they're like, oh, gun, and they had to say it, they had to say it first and then shoot.
Yeah.
And there was no doubt about it. In my view, that guy had a gun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I was like, no one just stops there and like waits a minute, because if that was the case, he would have had his hands up and turned around if he was actually. But the thing is, that's the other thing I want to point out, guys. He didn't have his hands up. So that's how you know that he might be up to no good. Everybody knows that if you have your hands up, cops usually don't shoot at you. So just saying.
Leo's done. Gone.
Yeah, oof. That was a rough. He had like 6, I think, bullets in there. There was a lot of shooting involved.
I'm looking for his
name,
the actor's name who played him. So go on.
Jessica Irving said Nick Nolte. That's not him, is it?
No.
Okay.
No,
we're talking.
No, that was me about my mugshot. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Nick Nolte. Okay, I missed that completely when you were talking about your headshot.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Shot?
That's why I was like, is he in this episode? I missed that. I was like, he didn't look like that at all.
When celebrities get mugshots, it's like they are just some of those are brutal.
Just whoa.
Have you? No one's been arrested in this room, have they?
No, I am
Any
a
stories?
squeaky
I know.
clean. I'm a squeaky clean lady.
I've surprisingly never been arrested.
Yeah, I've been to a police station.
Knock on wood.
Yes, I was like, there's wood in here.
Okay.
But I've been to a police station, but not for anything bad. I was visiting somebody, and I was like, hi.
I was an intern in a crime lab. That was
fun.
fun. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I got to test drugs, and I didn't get to fire a gun because I was in high school, and they were like,
That would have been
no.
awkward.
It was like I was like, man, I want to fire the gun.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, you can technically do that now if you
internship.
go to a gun range or something, because I've definitely done that. But,
Yeah, that part's fun.
But no, I was going there to bring donuts to, it was like our elementary school was coming by to say thank you to the Glendale police. So we brought like a bunch of donuts and stuff, and I was just like, hi. And then they said,
cops love donuts.
they love donuts. Well, I think I
doesn't like donuts.
I love donuts.
I ate a donut this week. It was the bomb.
We now
I had
have
so
Dunkin'
much. I had
Donuts
so
here.
much. I was like, I had so much Dunkin' Donuts while I was out in the East Coast. I was like,
Did
holy
you?
smokes. Yeah, I did.
Guys,
They're on every corner in Boston.
It's great. It's
I got a little
absolutely great.
info for
Yeah, go
you.
for it.
I love how you can eat things you don't usually eat at home when you travel, though, too, because it's like they're regional and you can eat them like donuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so Leo Longarzo was played by an actor named Panavet Anthony Nanokorpanum.
Whoa, that's a long
He has
name.
got a name and a half.
What,
He's known for his work on Star Trek, 2009.
All right. So maybe he did some stunt work, or he talked or acted, or
Yeah,
something.
I'm getting to that.
It's
right. Well,
all
while we're doing-
filmography
yeah,
up there.
but go ahead. Yes,
All right. Well, while we're doing about that,
he's got a lot of bad pictures of him in like army fatigues, and
Careful with
he
your
clearly.
phone.
Oops, my phone. Bye.
Yeah,
sorry.
It's okay. But I know
Moving on.
the one person we did not bring up this whole episode, because I wanted to just kind of put all of his story at the very end, was our district attorney.
Yeah, and he's played by the show killer himself, Christopher Poloha, who every show he's ever been on, I think gets canceled.
He always, that's all. Yeah, I was like, he always gets canceled, which I'm like, Castle's never going to do that. But he also always, I think he always plays some like snarky bad guy or something like that. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, he's always like a pretty, he was on Ringer with Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah, I think I think he always like plays some sort of pretty boy who's kind of a
bad boy.
Yeah, he's kind of a bad boy or just a giant butthole. Like he was here. His name was Caleb Brown. I knew there was something weird about him. Like I did. I was sitting there. I'm like, the one clue that gave me off about him was the fact that he sat there and he made all these demands from his client Acosta, and I was like, I don't feel like, not to say Acosta's not smart, but I don't think he's capable of just thinking of this deal all up on his own.
He was cocky, right?
That's what I'm saying. He was a butthole.
So I had to play. I have an interesting background with this guy. So I played a reporter in a film called Atlas Shrugged last year, and he was the star of the film.
No way.
And I actually interviewed him backstage. Yeah, I was like,
is he nice?
Christopher Poloha. I had to place it for a second. He's extremely nice. Yeah, he's really interesting. The interview is up on YouTube if you Google it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But back to his character.
So what did you guys think of Caleb Brown?
He really gave. I thought he was like working. I didn't like the way he was working Beckett for that deal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's
like,
a butthole.
Sleaze. Yeah.
Giant douche canoe. I was like, get out.
That's my favorite word you say.
Douche canoe.
Alexis.
Going up Butthole Creek in his douche canoe. That's what he's doing.
I like that. I'm going to write that down.
Douche canoe. It's on my favorite word list. Alexis's best word.
I was so upset. Yeah, that's what I wrote. I was like, Caleb Brown. Knew there was something weird about him. Giant douche canoe going up Butthole Creek, because obviously that's not what it's.
It was interesting though. She didn't say no to the deal. She said, "I'll think about it."
But that was just to buy her time to find out like what was actually going on with Acosta, and that's how they found out all that stuff about him. So it was interesting. But do we think Caleb Brown's going to come back?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean they have that actor who's pretty well known.
Sorry, public defender. Thank you.
Yeah, to have him who's pretty well known, and they didn't kill him off. I'm like, yeah, and he didn't go to jail, so I think he'll be more involved into the drug storyline also. And I just worry every time I see him. It's like, no, don't bring the axe down. He's the angel of show death.
So let me see if I understand, you guys, what the thinking is with him. That he might be tied into the Locksat.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That he is, on the face of it, a public defender, but he's really using his position to get a lot of drug info and to kind of blackmail people into working for him.
Well, yeah, because they did show that he was like a corporate lawyer, made a lot of money before, and then all of a sudden became a public defender, that there was something fishy there. No reason.
He's trying to be a defender of the people, and we're like, that sounds like there's something.
Not with that haircut, buddy.
That's what I'm saying. Or just he's such a I want to say so many words and I can't. I can't do it. He's an asshat. That's what he is, and I don't like it. Anyway,
we like that.
Thank you. So we come back. We obviously got to talk about Castle and Kate's. We didn't get to go into further detail about Castle and Kate's discussion because obviously after that whole thing, Castle sat there and pretty much used the words here. I said harsh, but I get it. He said he would have gone along with the breakup cover-up, but instead she likes being broken and having an obsession.
See, I loved that line. He dug in and really got into what a lot of my complaints are about Kate. It's like, you almost regressed in the last couple seasons. Like, you were really opening up.
I don't know about that, but I get it, because I feel like she does tend to get into her OCD about solving a case that hasn't been solved, and I get that. But at the same time, I like her ambition in trying to solve every case that she can, but obviously she can't be perfect all the time.
It does seem like it comes from a genuine place in her of like, I thought I was doing what was my best instinct on how to solve this case. How to be. It's like she's a captain first. She's a detective first.
Yes,
that's her first line of thinking.
Yeah, that's just what she was used to. She also, even though she dated and she's had people in her life, she really doesn't have many people in her life anymore. And now she's technically adopted the whole Castle family. So now she has to really worry about where she needs to be. So I do agree that I feel like she has to think about, it can't just be about her this time. But I feel like at the same time, she should look at the big picture.
Yeah, she's been very narrow-minded, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that she's finally back on the right path. I just feel like because of what happened of everything, that she just kind of receded back and was just like, I'm going to put up this wall again for safety reasons.
Do you feel like, okay, this is the winter finale, so we're off of Castle for like 2.5 months?
Yeah, February 1st.
Wait, before we get into don't start crying yet. We gotta get into the happy part.
What are we gonna do on Monday night?
I'll let you cry about this now. I'll let you cry about this now because obviously the ending was actually pretty happy for everybody who was Castle fans. But anyway, so yes, February 1st is when we're coming back. That is a long frickin' break.
That's a long freaking time.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I will probably be rewatching episodes because
just do what I always do, Firefly.
Well, that's what it is. Usually during the holidays, I watch Star Wars, Firefly, and anything else that my dad and my grandpa like to put on. But like those are the two series that I watch.
You two have Firefly love for Firefly in common, by the way.
Yes.
And hey, but speaking of Star Wars, that's what's happening in December.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is what we're all doing on Christmas.
Well, December 18th.
Alexis is a huge Star Wars fan.
December 18th, I'm definitely going to see it, probably multiple times because I'm a terrible human being.
No, you're not.
Do you have a theater picked out? And will you need to
I have
get
several
advance
theaters
tickets?
picked out. I already bought my tickets
You
a while
did?
ago.
Okay.
I'm going to take my family to it, probably later on when tickets are available for everybody. And I definitely have a group from my friends, and then I'm going to see it again after that.
Is it okay if I ask you a question that's really ignorant?
Sure.
Because I'm kind of... No, it's pretty bad.
Okay, whatever, go for it.
It's bad. What number of Star Wars is this?
Episode 7.
Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
there's 6 in total.
Yeah.
3. Don't make her feel bad. Don't make her feel bad.
But
it's
you know
okay.
what? It's better that I am informed and I go forth, like the rest of the audience who maybe didn't know.
Yeah.
And now I know.
No, there's 7.
It's the
There's
7,
3.
obviously.
There's 3 prequels, and then there's 3 technically sequels, and now we have this one. That's how the movies work.
Don't worry, there's only 3 good ones. Only see the original because it.
We're not gonna have this discussion here. I don't feel like having this right now.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a whole different thing.
Detect that a host has wandered off the subject.
Thank you.
By the way, can we just do another movie plug? Can I do a movie plug?
Real quick.
Disney Pixar. I saw Good Dinosaur last night. That is an adorable movie for all ages.
All right.
Very heartfelt.
Okay.
Moving on. Castle.
So, Lucy, the sassy machine. That's what I call her. The sass machine. That lady. The little Luxor machine there.
Yes.
Was trying to help Castle get through whatever he's going through, and I'm like, she's a machine. Dan,
It's so cute.
It's adorable. I'm just in my brain. I'm like, 2001: Space Odyssey. Just saying. No. All right. Terminator. Anyway, so
it was a little sad seeing him sitting there.
No, that's what I'm
himself.
saying. And I love how he's like, oh, you wouldn't understand. And she's like, why are you talking to me? And I'm like, Lucy, shush. Kate obviously comes. She knocks on the door, comes busting in, saying, I need you, Castle. I should have realized this. Obviously, Castle's very hurt by this. And but he's like, I'm all in because I love you. And same thing with Kate. And they
not only am I in.
Well, yeah, they had naked punishment at the very end.
I
was like, all right.
At least she gets some punishment, but I was like, okay, seriously, that was just way too wrapped up neatly.
What's with this Kate hate? She's awesome.
I loved her in the first few seasons, but yeah, I mean, I am not a Casket fan after because it's always Rick chasing her, and I'm like, who the hell is Kate Beckett at this point?
See, but don't you feel that she really genuinely came back around? Like, I feel like really you can see it in her eyes. She's like, I freaking love this guy.
Yeah, I do believe
I don't want to lose my marriage. So.
Yeah.
I mean,
but she always has one foot out the door, and even in this, they finally got back together. But to me, it's just it's not believable that it was just there's no real back and forth. It was just
Lacretia?
Yeah.
You're just straight up jealous, okay?
Oh whoa.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's not do that. But you know who's also jealous I'm jealous that we don't get to frickin' have any Castle for 2 months.
I know.
It's so crazy. But I agree with Jessica in the chat that I'm waiting for Lucy to get hacked. I agree.
Yeah.
But I love how Lucy said, "Oh, you guys," at the very end.
That was so
like,
cute.
Barf. Anyway, guys, I hate to say it.
It's been a great first 8 episodes,
well,
though.
I want to get your predictions real quick, and then we're going to get out of here. Because I want to know what you guys think after this
your AFTERBUZZ
mid-season
TV
finale.
predictions.
All right, here we go. Go.
Well, obviously the blind item for TV Line, it was a Fox show that I mentioned last week that I don't think Stana Katic is leaving since, obviously she did not die or leave in this mid-season finale. So sorry I predicted that wrong last week. But so it does look like Kate is in for the long haul. But I think that Vikram is going to turn out to be evil.
You guys definitely. I think that moving into now, we're going to be in the middle third of the season when we come back in February, and I feel like it's just we're going to have to really dive into this Locksat stuff. That's what I think. I think we're going to really start to hash it out, and I think things are going to get a little dangerous. But it's kind of like they've been dwelling on that storyline, and they need to kind of follow through and get us into it.
I think that they're going to do what most Castle seasons do, where they'll do Monster of the Week again for at least the next few episodes, and then the last 4 or even 2 will be all Locksat stuff. Because that's not usually what they do, but that's how it usually ends up.
Yeah, I think so.
Won't there be... How many episodes will there be in all season?
I have not checked.
It's usually 22 or 3.
Oh yeah, so there'll probably be a good 4 or 5 of them, or they'll be spread out throughout. I'm trying to think how many episodes they're actually going to have, because obviously we're in episode 8.
Ryan will probably have his baby.
Yes, very much so. It's definitely going to be a thing.
Yes.
I'm hoping to see Jenny because I missed her.
Yeah, I love
Jenny
them
should be back
because they're a real husband and wife.
Yeah, I know, they're adorable. But yeah, I think that we're going to get sprinkles of Locksat stuff like usual, but I think we're going to stick to Case of the Week, and then at the very last few episodes, it's going to be all, hauling ass to get to wherever we need to go on that case. And I think Vikram's gonna reveal himself probably second to last episode.
Wow.
If not finale. That's what I predict.
We'll have to have him back.
Yes, I want him back for that, because I want to know. I want to be like, you, you did it. Anyway, guys, I'm sad to say this, that we're not going to see you guys until February 1st.
We love you guys. We look forward to discussing Castle all throughout the next 2.5 months.
Yes, please do not be a stranger. Obviously, Thanksgiving is this week. If you don't celebrate it, it's totally fine. Also, Christmas, because we're definitely going to miss you guys for Christmas and the holidays and anything else that you guys are doing. Yes.
But can we just back up and give a little thanks to all the people who join us?
I want to say
every Tuesday.
Yes, I'm very thankful.
Appreciate you people.
That all 20 of you that are in here, or whoever watches after that you're watching now, after we just aired live, people who are in the iTunes, you guys tweeted us every week. Actually, AFTERBUZZ TV Castle is always on top of it every Tuesday. I want to thank you.
Thank you, AFTERBUZZ TV Castle.
So helpful. You guys are the reason why I love doing the show, is getting to talk to you guys and finding out your theories, seeing your cool pictures, and just really telling me what you guys really think, because I usually didn't have anyone to talk about Castle with until now. So
can we dance?
Aww. We can dance on the way out.
Can we dance?
You guys can dance on the way out.
Everyone, get up from your screen and dance.
Yay! But anyway, guys, as you're dancing, tell us where they can find you over the holiday season. Go.
All right. If you can spell my name right, it's LACRETIALYON. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, anything like that. And you can actually catch me on AfterBuzz TV, Sunday Soap Block, the GH Report, at 4 p.m. I'm losing my mind. At 5:30 p.m. And then also I'll be on the Ash vs. Evil Dead Sunday at 10 p.m. this week. And you can catch Nathan Fillion on Drunk History tonight at 7:30.
Oh, good catch.
8:30. So,
yeah, no, you're right.
You guys, thanks for joining us. I love you guys so much. Happy holidays. Hope you have a wonderful holiday season. I'm JJ Snyder at J2 Snyder. That's where you find me.
And guys, you again can find me where all Alexis Torres is spelled at ATorres890. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, and happy New Year, since I just realized that's after the New Year. So I hope your 2016 starts. Yes, 2016. I hope that it's wonderful for all of you guys. Again, all of my love, support, and be kind to one another, as Ellen always says. And we will see you guys next year for Castle Episode 9. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Jazz hands.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.